today I'm gonna make a little stand for my bench grinder over here, and that's just a little generic old grinder, but I got it and I want to make a stand. I got some scrap metal laying around. Got some of this C channel here. It's kind of thicker. I think I'm going to use it. I got this little stand right here. It's a little piece of scrap metal I got. I'm going to use this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip this down the center. I think I'm going to try to save some space. So I'm thinking I could probably go out 16 inches, and that should give me plenty of room to keep it from wanting to tip over. So I'm going to come out 16 inches on each side, plus about the 2.5 inches, probably about 2.5 inch square tubing when I'm using it as the stand here. And so give me about 34 inches out. Now that I think about it, that's still pretty long. I may just do it, I think I'll go 12 inches. So what I'll do is I'm gonna rip a piece down the middle, 24 inches long. I'm gonna cut it in half, and I'm gonna cut it, clean it, and I'm gonna weld it to this coming off as like 4 legs. Then I'll flip it over and set it down. And then what I'll do is I'll take a piece of plate here I got, and I'll cut it. I'm gonna cut it a little bit bigger than what it needs to be, because if I ever get a bigger bench grinder, I want to be able to put it on the stand too. And if you look here, there's just 2 little holes through this, 2 holes in the bottom here. Now how good of a shot you're getting, but there's 2 holes in the bottom of this, and I'll run bolts down through that. I'll drill a hole in the plate and just bolt this down, and if I ever want to upgrade, then I'll just drill new holes if I need to or whatever. So first thing I'm going to do is measure this out, and I'm going to rip this. I would like to use a bandsaw, but I don't have one, so I'm just going to use my grinder and cut it. Let me get everything set up and come back. What I did was I just measured 24 inches from here to here, and I squared it off here, and I'm going to rip this. This is 4 inches, so I'm just going to rip it in half at 2 inches. And then I also marked my 12-inch spot. This will give me all 4 of my sections that I'm going to need on that. So I'm going to use my grinder, and we're going to cut this off real quick. Just went through and scribed the line real quick. Now I'll do the cutting to help keep my blade straight when I'm bringing it back. see that the wall cordless cut right through that. Tell you exactly. It's pretty thick steel. I mean, it's mild steel, but 3/16. Cut right through it, no problem. Smoked it up a little bit in here. And we'll save this for something else. Now I'm gonna go ahead and clean up these pieces and clean up this post. I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna use a sanding disc. Then I'll use a wire wheel too. Get some of the lime scale and rust off there. Make a clean surface to weld to. I'm not the best welder in the world, so I need all the help I can get. It would help if I had a good work area, good workbench or something, but I don't right now. I will. Alright, I'm gonna see how far I can get. I think I'm about out of gas, and I don't know if I can make it to get any today, but I'm just gonna run it off the settings on the inside. Calls for it to be at 540. I'm gonna start it at that and see how I like it. We'll see how far I can get before I run out of gas. I'm just gonna hold this up, try to tack it in place, and I'll go weld it all the way through. Turn it on. Clip off my end. Run a little more. Clip off that. Try to hold this flush. At the bottom, try to center it the best I can. I think it's going to have much weight on it. Alright, got it tacked in place. 2 little tacks, it looks pretty good. Might need that. Feet on. Now, like I said, I'm by far the best welder in the world, but it's sturdy and it holds. I can't knock them off with a hammer. Now, we can look at my welds here. It's hard for me to get good light, but now I purposely offset these feet a little bit, try to get a little stability, but I also want to be able to come to the bench grinder like this and be able to stand comfortably with my 2 feet in between on either side of these. If I would have spread them out further, then I would have either had to stand with my feet closer together like this, or I would have had to stand at a wide stance. Now I can stand here comfortably and do what I want. So, but like I said, it's on there, it's sturdy, it ain't going anywhere. Now I'm gonna take a piece of flat plate, I'm gonna measure the bottom of this bench grinder, and I'm gonna cut a piece probably 2 inches more on each side, and I'm gonna drill holes to mount the bench grinder into the plate, and I'm gonna bolt it down with a bolt and a nut. I don't think I'm gonna weld it to this. I think what I'll do is I'll just drill 4 holes and just put my plate, and then I can interchange this with anything, because I got my chop saw over there, and I could maybe make a plate for that. I can interchange anything I want onto this by just taking a couple bolts out. But let me go ahead and measure that, make my plate, and then we'll come back with the finished product. All right, finish this up. You see I painted it, just had some blue paint around, but I'm gonna hit it with another coat. But we finished it up, painted it. I wire wheeled everything down and sanded it down. I just brushed the paint on instead of hooking everything up, but didn't turn out too bad. We'll hit it with another coat, and thought about trying to do them legs a different way, but just for what I got it for, that works fine for now. I may at some point cut off some of this to make it not stick out as far. Probably didn't need to make them as long as I did make them, but like I said, see, I can get my feet in between, stand here, work on this one, or if I'm working on this one, stand here comfortably and work on it. I'm gonna put a wire wheel on this at some point. But that's it, and I got no money in this whatsoever. It's all scrap metal. You can make this out of anything. I just happen to have this stuff and I made it. Strong, level, doesn't wobble. And that's gonna be it. I'm gonna hit it with another coat, and then I'll move it over, and if I ever need to use it, I still gotta tighten this down. I have to use maybe some 5/16 bolts and some nuts. I have to find some. I don't have them right now, but all right. And that's how I made a bench grinder out of scrap metal. Bench grinder stand out of scrap metal, I should say. Thanks for watching.